Welcome back to the mat. This short series will be able to let you become aware of some of the tightness in your low back, some of the weakness in your low back. Being a forward sitting society, it's very common to have low back pain every day. And when we're sitting forward, these muscles get long, creating weakness. These muscles get foreshortened, creating tightness, especially if you're going to do more abs. We want to open the front body, allow these to lengthen and strengthen the low back. A couple of core moves, a few times a week, will keep you free of discomfort and improve all of your movement strategy. Basically, our spine wasn't meant to support our body. Our balanced body was meant to support a comfortable, healthy spine. So let's begin, perhaps each day, these few core moves that are gentle yet very powerful. So as we sit in a moment, getting our breath and finding the centering, if you're seated, make sure you have a block underneath you or a bolster, something that allows your knees to relax down. Perhaps you have a pillow or a block to allow that comfort level wherever your hips tell you they are. Just find that place where you're sitting comfortably and you can just center into your breath for 3 or 4 breaths, just coming to your sense of self, your time in the mat, with 3 big, beautiful breaths, filling the lungs. Shoulders gently drawn back, lifting the low ribs just a little bit. Feeling the expansion of the body as we inhale. Keeping that expansion as we exhale. A byproduct of being a forward society is, believe it or not, limited breathing. Limited oxygen for our organs, limited blood oxygen available to beat through our bodies and give us life energy. So let's open the front body. Inhale. One more, bringing the shoulders back. And coming to our backs. If you have big shoulders or neck issues or a little bit more there in the back, then you would like and you feel as you're here, your head extended to the ceiling. If it's really a big issue, you can bring your block under your head, but you don't want to have your chin tucked. You want to have a place where your neck feels supported and neutral. Perhaps you roll the blanket underneath a little bit. So feel free to find that which supports your neck properly. Spread the shoulder blades out. Bring the hands flat. And we're going to become aware of this part of the body. Just a little pelvic tilt awareness with breath. So again, finding that big purposeful breath. Inhaling to the count of 4. And at the exhale, we pull the belly button in and just lift the hips a little bit, flattening that small back area and holding it for the next inhale. And then we exhale, let the low back come back up off the mat and come back into neutral. Now make sure you're feeling your feet flat, especially the big toe. Straight ahead on the mat. Supporting feet. Again, inhale. Exhale, pull the low belly in, holding that for the next inhale. And exhale, let that release back up. This time we'll add the leg, right leg. Inhale. Use your hands for help. Exhale, bring the low belly in and bring the knee right over the hip, not the chest. Keeping that in. Breathing. At the end of the second exhale, we bring that heel back down to the mat and let the pelvic tilt return. Other side. Small, powerful movements. Inhale. Exhale, belly pulls in, knee lifts, toes flex. Inhale. And exhale, dropping that knee back down and releasing the pelvic tilt. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale, pull the belly in. Let that knee hover right over the hip. Exhale, pelvic tilt returns. Inhale. Exhale, belly button pulls in, flattening out that little small of the back. Feel the pelvic floor just zip in a little bit. Breathing. Exhale, placing that foot back down. Feel free to pause the video and do that for 6 or 8 more times. Come into that awareness before you move on. This time we're going to use a little traction against it by taking the right hand and pressing it a little bit more into the mat. And the left foot. We're going to inhale, bring that knee over the hip. We're going to exhale, pull the belly button in and take that left palm and push the left thigh away as the right heel works towards the right shoulder. Breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Heel is moving towards the hand is pushing towards the heel, and the pelvic floor is zipped up and your back is just flattened on the mat. One more. You can feel it. Releasing that down, letting the pelvic tilt come last. Other side. Left hand presses. Exhale, knee hovers over hip. Everything contracts. Press. Press. Nice big toe balls touching the mat, still on the opposite foot. Pull the belly in. Bringing that foot back down. We're going to take the knees nice and wide. Take the feet nice and wide as the mat still parallel, and just allow the left knee to drop in, the other one to go to the side. Windshield wiper the legs. Perhaps you work your feet a little closer together. Whatever feels comfortable. Sometimes you get a nice little sacral release here. Breathing up to center. Exhaling, looking over the opposite shoulder. Inhale, breathing up to center. Exhale, looking over the opposite shoulder. One more. Wonderful release here. And last one. Back to center. Bringing those feet back parallel. Feel your heel and your big toe into the mat. We're going to press the heels, bring the hands a little closer together. Palms working towards the body. Maybe they're right next to your hips. Tuck the chin. We're going to press the feet into the mat and peel one vertebra up off the floor at a time, lifting the hips. Tucking the shoulders a little bit in. Making sure this is on your shoulders and nowhere on your neck. Use your hands for support. Feet supported. Inhale, lift the hips. Expand the belly. Perhaps the thumbs or hands come to meet flat on the mat below the butt. One more. Nice strong feet. Nice big toe in the mat. And then we release the shoulders down one vertebra at a time. Let that pelvic tilt return. Taking care of the back is an amazing, rewarding thing to do for yourself. Taking the time, 10 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. Bringing those shoulders back in a little bit, pressing the hands into the mat. Inhale, press the heel and big toe into the mat. Lift the hips. Bring the shoulder blades perhaps a little bit together, walking the hands in, thumbs meet. One day perhaps interlacing the fingers underneath and pressing the pinkies to the mat. Or staying right here. Nice flat feet, big toes in. Inhale. Exhale, release the shoulders down, one vertebra at a time. And let that beautiful, awesome pelvic tilt come back to you. We're going to take that right knee up and around the right ribs and just hug below the knee. bringing it to the shoulder, flexing the toes to the sky, and just curling up, taking a look beyond the heel, rounding the back. Inhale, expand to the sky. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose, look beyond the heel. One more, inhale. Exhale, round the back up, tuck the chin. Release that knee back and around the ribs. Taking the left knee around, hanging on to, never on top of your knee, right below it. Flex the toes, see if you can keep that sole of the foot facing in the direction. Exhale, round up, take a look beyond that heel, working the heel towards the shoulder. Inhale, you obviously expand as the lungs fill, and then we exhale, tuck the chin. One more. Bringing that leg back down and around. Let's walk those heels out. Reach the hands way up overhead. Take the right hand longer than the right leg and reach. Take the left hand longer and reach. And both hands and feet expanding. And then floating those hands back by your side. Bring your knees to the ceiling once again. Get your big toe and heel flat on the mat. One more core move. Inhale as we have been. Exhale, pull the belly in and reach the arms up to the ceiling. Keeping the belly pulled in, we're going to inhale. We're going to exhale those hands overhead, keeping the low belly pulled in. Don't reach so far the low belly comes off the mat, the back comes off the mat, keeping it contracted. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, bring the hands by the side and let that pelvic tilt return. Be sure you're not scrunching the butt. Be sure you're just simply pulling in the low abs, gently pulling up that pelvic floor. One more time. Hands come up, exhale, pull the belly in, not the butt, pelvic floor just a little bit, a little kegel, reaching, expanding, holding in just the low belly, not the butt. Relaxing the cheeks. One more breath. Nice big toe is still mounted into the mat. And exhale, release those hands back down and release the pelvic tilt. Flip the hands over and take a breath. To balance this further and finish this series, we're going to roll onto one side. Come up to tabletop. Bringing your knees right under your hips. Bringing your hands right under your wrists. Making sure they're not too close. Nice distance apart as long as your torso is a fact. I'm going to press the pinkies into the mat, the middle fingers and the thumbs. We're going to just keep those arms nice and strong to stretch the shoulder blades. We can rest a little golf ball right between the shoulder blades. We're going to drop the belly, arch the back, and feel the expansion of the front body. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin around the belly button up to the spine. Two more. Inhale, drop the belly, lead with the collarbones, look up, fill the lungs with air. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Push the hands, tops of the feet into the mat. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Around the back, spread the shoulder blades open to the sky. And bring yourself back to neutral. A very core move here. Taking that right foot and pressing. We want to expand and open the hamstrings. When these are tight, they're also responsible for a chain of events up your whole body. Where it's all connected, so one place that's out of balance will lead to the next place that's out of balance, to the next place out of balance that we can now find and correct. So press that heel into the mat. Feel the energy leave in the back hamstring. Palms are nice and flat. Middle fingers in. Perhaps that heel rises, the same energy leaving away from the navel center. Pull up your low belly gently. Press that right hand into the mat and expand the left hand away from the heart center. Nice strong standing arm. Press those fingertips into the mat. Inhale, reach in equal and opposite directions. Feel both hip points smiling down at the mat. And at the end of the third exhale, come back to neutral, other side. Left heel. Expand that hamstring away, making sure your hip doesn't rise, but keep the hips squared so all toes are involved. Nice flat back. We're not sinking. We're nice and flat. Hips squared. Perhaps that heel energy leaving away from the navel center, and the opposite hand comes out to reach. Keep the neck long. Keep the gaze just down and ahead a little bit. Inhale, reach. Make sure the shoulder girdle isn't coming way up beyond your ear. It's about the hand and the heel moving in equal and opposite directions. Press that kickstand hand into the mat. At the end of the exhale, we're going to bring those knees together, walk the hands out, and extend into a nice, big back body breathing. Filling the back body with air. An unofficial extended child's pose. Pulling the low belly in, perhaps the pelvic floor. We're going to come back one more set on each side. 2 is a charm. Reach that heel back. Perhaps you don't want to lift this time. Perhaps you want to keep the energy moving out the heel with the toes anchored. Nice strong right hand. Middle finger pushed in. Press the middle fingers into the mat, expanding the arm, the front of the elbow towards the front of the mat, and reach. Inhale, expand. Perhaps that heel floats up, expanding out from the center. Breathe. Exhale, place it back down. This is key for the muscles that support the low back. We're strengthening them right now. Press that left hand into the mat. Right hand expands. 3 breaths. Shoulder relaxed in its girdle. Inhale, reach. Equal and opposite directions. Steady gaze. Big breath. The breathing is key here. Make sure those hip points are facing down. 1 more. And placing that hand flat. We're going to come back to our extended child's pose to bring big air into the lungs. 1 more. Coming back up to tabletop and walking yourself forward. Crossing your ankles, perhaps sitting on a block. Perhaps finding a block to help your knee stay high. Getting back to that neutral position we began in. Perhaps you bring your hands into the mat to allow the front of the sit bones to become engaged. So we're not sitting on the back sit bones, but the front sit bones, our shoulders coming high. This can help that tremendously. Now you're allowing yourself to be able to sit forward because we're here. This is tight. When this is tight, we cannot expand as well. But one practice, one stepping on the mat at a time, will lead to freedom. The hardest part is getting on the mat. The joy and the reward is in the practice and the freedom in your life. So centering yourself back into a calming breath, bringing the shoulders back. Feeling perhaps the energy around this band, this beautiful cummerbund, core of yours that's beginning to find balance. To heart center. Thank yourself for giving yourself this time and this gift of care and self-care. It will reward you greatly in the end and throughout your life. The highest in me honors the highest in you. Namaste.